Hi YouTube, it's Beantown Babe. I'm coming back at you with a little video today concerning what's going on with me. So I think the last time I made a video, I was talking about I was a new grad, RN. I was in the LV and the BSN program for the last few years, and I graduated in December of 2020. I had a job as a nurse manager for a long-term care facility in my last year of my program. And so I was an LVN that was a manager over a facility that usually has RNs, but they took a chance on me my last year in my BSN program, and it was a great opportunity. I had been in management before I became a nurse. This is my second career. I was a social worker first. And so I had been in management before, so I had some management experience, but definitely not as a nurse. And so I decided that I did not want to work in long-term care facility anymore, in behavioral health. I've been in behavioral health all those years as an LVN. And so now I have been applying for RN positions, and I've gotten a few RN positions. I've gotten one in hospice, I've gotten one in psych, I've gotten a couple of offers at other places, PCU. But I got one this week in the ICCU, which is Intensive Coronary Care Unit. And I was so psyched. So I am taking this position that's offered. And I wanted to say why I'm going to take that and what my goals are and the things that I wanted to do. So I've wanted to go back. I went back at first to go get my master's, and I was in the FNP program when I graduated. I kind of went into an FNP program pretty quickly, and I knew I wanted to become a nurse practitioner. What I didn't take time to really think about was the track in which I was going to take in nurse practitioner school. And so once I started to kind of do some of my classes and really think about it, I decided that FNP was not for me. Family and nurse practitioner was not for me. I wanted to do acute care, nurse practitioner. And so, which used to be, I guess, formerly a critical care or nurse practitioner, but now it's adult gerontology acute care nurse practitioner, or you can get a pediatric nurse practitioner, pediatric acute care nurse practitioner. But for most of those programs, for me to transfer to most of those programs, I would have to have 1 to 2 years of acute care experience. So most of my experience had not been in acute care, had been in, long-term care facilities, hospice, things like that. And I just thought, I want to get into a hospital, get that acute care experience, but not just the acute care experience. I really would like to be in the ICU. I got some no's. I got some people talking about, no, you're not going to do it. I even got 2 positions in like a PCU, which is a progressive care unit, which is like a step down unit for ICU, which I totally wanted to take. And if I had not gotten the direct hire into an ICU new grad program, I would have said yes to one of those. But I was truly blessed this week to get offered a full-time night position as a ICU nurse in the coronary critical care unit. So I am beyond elated. I am beyond, that I feel blessed, because this for me is like the dream job. I had a lot of naysayers in my life, and not that they wanted to be negative, but I think that they was like, honey, maybe you're just gonna have to take the job that's not the most your first pick. And what's really was a drawing factor is that some of the other jobs I was getting, well, first of all, I was making more money as an LVN manager as than I'm going to make now as a new grad RN in a hospital. That was kind of hard. And then also I got offered like managerial positions or positions of like intake nurse in other types of facilities outside of the hospital, or even like a psychiatric hospital, and paying more than what I'm going to get paid as an ICU RN1. But you know what? They aren't what I wanted. So all those things, I'm not gonna like, came down on my heart. I was like, oh, but it's not all about money, and it's not. Nursing isn't about the money. But one thing I do want to say is, people say, oh, it's not about the money. Don't do it if you're not a nurse. We have bills to pay. I live in a very expensive state, and we have bills to pay. So yes, sometimes it does have to do with what you're getting paid. Okay, I don't want to make it seem like people should be, told that something's wrong with them for, taking the pay that I feel like we're worth as nurses. Um, but anyways, I'm elated. How I got this job, and how I feel like some pointers on maybe like going after the things that you want, whether it is management or if it's ICU or it's a specialty, do it. So what I did was, like I said, I got some offers to do things like I was doing before, which is management, and I've done hospice. And so at first, when I graduated, I started applying for those things because it's what I knew: psych, hospice, long-term care. And I just felt like it was not exciting me. I didn't feel challenged, and I felt like I'm in a rut a little bit. So then I said, what do you want to do? Whether it's move out of this state and do something with nursing, but let's go for our dream. So two of the things were working in cardiac ICU or working in NICU. Two things I really wanted to do. I was just really like, okay, I want to do one of these things. And so I started to apply everywhere. Well, not everywhere. Let's not say everywhere. I started to apply in places that I would want to live for at least 2 years, because most of them are programs you have to stay within 2 years. So within my state, there are little hospitals in certain areas that people are like, oh, you will get a job if you go there. And I was like, but I don't want to go there for 2 years, And so I was like, yeah, I even looked out of state, and I got some jobs in other states as well. I got offered positions in other states. Ultimately, I'm really glad I found a job in my own state, because it was going to cost me probably up to $7,000 to move, right? Out of state. And so I found a job in my state, but I would still have to relocate. It's pretty far from where I live. So I plan to relocate. But what I did, I looked for all these multiple interviews, like interview days where you could go on the campus and interview with multiple managers, or virtual interview things that they were doing on like Indeed. And I went to some of those, and I got thrown in with all these different managers. And one thing I would say, it helped me with practicing. I'm a pretty good interviewer in general. Most people think that I present pretty well in interviews. I get very passionate. When I feel something, I let it show on my face. When I'm pretty honest about my weaknesses, but I always try to make, they always ask that question, what is one of your weaknesses? I always try to make it a positive as well. Like, I am learning, though, to make sure that I do A, B, and C with this weakness. And I make sure this is a weakness that can also be a strength. I try to smile. I try to make a little bit of a joke, because nobody wants to work with someone who is not fun at all, especially in something as stressful as like NICU or ICU or, all these things. And so one thing that was, I think, really funny that I talked about, like, just probably one thing she asked me, she said, if I called your manager and you're the person who managed you at your last position at such and such, what would she say about you? And I said, she would say that I am I said something about, like, she says, I'm a hard worker, I'm studious, I'm very quick to try to figure, things out. And she'll probably tell you that sometimes she has to tell me to go home. And that was what I said. It tied together with what I said earlier about my weakness being that sometimes I get so focused that I want to do something and finish it, but I need to learn to sometimes back away, have a boundary, and delegate more. And so it went along hand in hand with that. And I said, so she would also tell you that. And that's something that we had to work on. She'd have to say, go home. And that made her laugh, but it also made her see that I have a personal relationship with my boss. And that we joke around together. And then I did tell her another thing that was funny. I told her also, she'll say, what she said at my goodbye party is that no one matches my scrub game. I have an unmatched scrub game. I try to keep it colorful and fun and happy because we do serious work every day. So whatever you can do to bring in some happiness to your unit, you do it, right? And she was like, oh my goodness, I'm looking forward to your scrub game, which made me go, oh, is she gonna hire me? So anyways, I think that type of bubbliness sometimes, with knowing that you can be serious as well, it really wins people over. Nobody wants to work with somebody who's a pain in the behind the whole shift. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I can be very serious. When I am, like, under pressure, everybody knows. I'm like, policies, procedures, what's the correct way to do this? What's the safest way to do that? I'm totally a policy, procedure, safety, all that type of stuff. I'm all about it, right? And I think I had already led with that by saying, I like complex things. I like to research. I like to get my hands dirty in things and figure it out. I had already portrayed that part of the seriousness of who I am in the interview. I needed to also put how I'm going to be different in this unit of people. How am I going to work with these people? And I asked him, what's one of the things that you guys look for in a new grad or a new nurse? And he was like, being teachable. I said, because there was 2 interviewers, and I said, I'm teachable. I said, because honestly, I'm embarking on this because I want to learn. And so if you're telling me I'm doing something wrong, or you're telling me how to do something, I'm going to pay attention, because that's why I'm here. It's why I drove all the way here. That's why I quit my job as a full-time person in a very stable position, because I want to learn. I'm thirsty to learn. Like I told him, I really want to learn. I think that stuff, like, those are really how I feel. I'm not saying don't say how you feel and put on this mask. This is how I feel. And I said, I think you need to take all your positive things that you have within you as an individual nurse and bring that to the table. Let them know, like, hey, this is awesome. I'm a person who looks at these positives. I'm a person who looks at these things. Another thing that is a thing that you might need to look at is, I have to say, what probably also helped me to get the job is that, there were people who were walking around, talking, stuff like that, and then and greeting people, and so you don't know who's who, right? Everybody has their badges on, and you're nervous, even online. I had gone to a couple of virtual ones, and they're popping me in different managers' windows and to different people. And so you want to pay attention to the person's name, but then you kind of like try to pay attention to the conversation with them. So in one of my conversations, I didn't realize I was having a long, drawn-out conversation with the chief nursing officer. She was there, and I thought even that, to me, made an impact on me for that hospital. Even for me to decide, oh, I want to come here. Like, everybody, hands on deck, checking people out. I was like, okay. And she was warm, but you could tell she was really, like, staunch as well. Like, I mean business. I want this to succeed. And she was up in it. And she's talking to us. And I was in a full-blown conversation. She tried to put my nerves at ease. She was like, oh, just remember that everybody's here to get the right people, the right fit. just, they're here to impress you too. She put my nerves at ease. We had such a good conversation about school. She talked about, so honestly, I thought like she had talked about how like she's a professor somewhere. And I was like, oh, and I was talking about school from last year, my cohort. And I was just like, ah, and she put me at ease before I had to go do my interview. And I was like, she's such a great lady. And then later on, she was talking to someone else, and she was like, she's the chief nurse and operator of the hospital. I was like, ah! I was like, oh my God. But you know what? I think that conversation made an impact. The way in which I carried myself the whole time. Now, I'm not going to lie. I got really tired. And this is one thing that you want to do as well in these types of situations, because sometimes, and this has happened to me in the past, where I got another position before when I was at LVN as a clinical supervisor. Take a snack, drink some coffee or something before your interview, because sometimes when a company knows they're really interested in you and they want to hire you, you might be there a little longer than you thought. And at first, I was just, even with this interview, going to go in. I was like, oh, I don't have time for a snack. I'm just going to go, blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, let me stop, get some coffee. Let me get a snack. Thank God I did. And in other interviews in the past, thank God I did. Because those things are important. Get a snack, a healthy snack. Something that's going to give you energy, a banana, whatever, that's going to give you enough energy. Because I have to be honest, I had interviewed with all these people, had all these conversations. I was really on, like, the light bulb's on, you're on. And I have to say, towards the end, I was really tired. And I was like, I can't be as big a conversationalist as I was 2 hours ago. And even I was trying to be conversational wise with the other nurses who were interviewing, because I was like, these are going to be my coworkers. They're going to be the people who are looking like a deer in the headlights like me. I want to get to know these people. Where are you from? Are you relocating here too? And I think that also made a difference, because I watch people watching people, and I saw that everyone was watching everybody. And so that was important, It's very important how you carry yourself. I came in a suit. No, did we have to wear a suit? No, but I wore a blazer, some slacks, and a nice little blouse. I wore some feminine little heels, shoes, and a cute purse, And I like to dress up sometimes, but that's not me. But I did that because I wanted to make an impression. I really wanted to make an impression. I drove all the way out there. I talked to them about, they asked what my plans would be in the future. And I know many times people say, don't tell them you're going to go back to school. They want to know you're going to be there. In this situation, because I think I made it about, I'm going to come to this area and become a resident here. Like, I am a part of this hospital if I'm going to work here. I think that put them at bay at that, and I think it made them feel good that I said, okay, I want to go back to get my nurse practitioner. I had gone in, and I was very honest with it. I had gone in to do my NP, and I put that on hold for a moment, and I want to focus on getting a job in the ICU, and I want to get some experience so I can go back and do the program that I really want to. I was honest, and I think that even also sealed the deal. Don't be fake. Find out some things in your head. Run some things in your head. Write it down if you have to, about stories, because they'll ask you scenarios. But just go in comfortable, Don't be afraid. Whatever it is that you need to do that encourages you, whether it be looking at a picture that inspires you, like looking at your grandma and all the dreams she had for you. I don't know, whatever it is, For me, as a Black woman, I have these like powerful women pictures in my apartment, and I have to be honest, they always, like, the reason why I have them around is they give me energy. They make me feel like, keep going, girl. Those help me. Deepak Chopra has some sayings that help me to keep going. Sometimes I write on a sticky, "You got this, girl." Little things like that encourage me. I like to have colorful things. Also, something else that I want to say that I bought for myself, and I said it's going to come into fruition this year in 2021. So I'm buying this because I want to become a critical care nurse. And so I bought this planner for myself. Isn't it so cute? There's a little heart on it. And isn't that awesome that I am going to be in coronary care? Oh my God. When I tell you, as you see, I like purple. And when I tell you, like, that was my thing. Like, I believe in symbolism. Can't say it right. Symbolism. I believe in things like that. Like, spiritually, like, if you want, I walk around in the neighborhood if I want to move there and see how I feel about it. Like, I believe in putting things in the air, in the universe that you want. So, like I said, I bought this for myself at the end of 2020. It was a hard year. I was just graduating. I was like, I will become a critical care nurse, most likely coronary, or NICU. And I was like, I'm not budging from that. I remember when I got in the mail, I was like, it's mine. I said, this is my year. This is my year. And praise the Lord, it's my year. And so you don't know, when she came back and she told me that they would like to offer me this position, I almost wanted to kiss this lady. I mean, like, I'm not even, I was like, don't hug her. First of all, it's COVID. Second of all, like, this is, like, inappropriate. Don't hug this lady. But I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, thank you. I was like, I'm so excited. But I really wanted to be like, I'm so excited, and hug her. But, I did not. So, I don't think she wanted me to. But, you know what I mean? Like, I think she would have just thought it was funny. But, yeah, do what you gotta do to keep yourself. Like, you might even see I have my dream big pillows back here. That's all me. I'm louder than life. Like, just live out your dreams. Be louder than anybody else that tells you anything. Even the guy I'm dating this one, he told me, and I don't think he needs it in a negative way, but he was just kind of like, he's a little sour about me moving a little further away from where I'm at right now. But I was like, hey, but he was like, yeah, well, one of the reasons they're giving you this, like, this opportunity is because this hospital is so far away, and it's not in the middle of too much. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care that it's a little further away. It's a hospital is putting me into this incredible ICU program, new grad program, that I'm going to get incredible experience from. I don't care that it's a little further away and it's not in the major hospital, the major city right now. I have talked to people who have gotten amazing training there. They feel like family. That's what's important to me. I am not listening to not one iota of negativity of why this might not be the best thing, or blah, blah. It's the best thing for me. Maybe not for you, but for me. I didn't want to listen to none of that. And so, my biggest advice in this whole video is go after your dreams if you want something. Now, if I hadn't gotten this position, I probably would have taken the other position, which is in a PCU, that was in another state. Would have moved for that so that I could get into that, because that manager had talked to me. I even came up with her and said, I want to work in ICU. And she was like, okay, how about if I put you in a step down, because as a new grad, get you comfortable, and then you can cross-train into the ICU. I said, okay, I can understand that a little bit more. But she knew I was hungry to get into it, and she knew that that's what I want. That's my ultimate goal. So if I hadn't taken this one, and this they hadn't offered, sorry, I was going to take this one if they offered it. Since they offered it, I took it. If they hadn't offered it, I would have taken a progressive care unit, and I would have rocked that. And I would have been up in the ICU, cardiac, within a year. I would have rocked it. I believe neither path would have led me to where I wanted to be, because I'm ambitious like that. And I don't take no for an answer. So don't take no for an answer. If you want something and you have the opportunity to move, you have the whatever, the means to drive 2 hours away and stay at Airbnb on those nights or whatever, maybe you need to do that. I mean, that's what you just do sometimes for your dreams. You know, you go cross country, or you go to another state, or you go to another area, or you put yourself on the line. Even as nurses, we go and do incredible things to learn things and to do things. We go on conferences in other places. We go overseas sometimes on internships to try to be able to learn how to do things. That's just what we do, and it's all fun. It's all an adventure, and if it makes your heart beat fast and it makes you excited, do it. Alrighty, I talk too much. This video is way too long, and they might not even upload it, but hopefully they will. Bye.